Hey, man.
Oh, hey, man.
What'd you do today?
Well, I went to the movies.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm actually wearing the shirt of one of the movies that I saw today.
Oh, it was a good movie.
It was a good movie, except we watched it dubbed this time. Which, before we actually get into what we're actually talking about, I do want to take a minute to just kind of talk about Demon Slayer a little bit more, because, love this movie. It honestly got better with the second viewing.
It really did.
And this time we saw it dubbed instead of subbed, which we saw it originally, which is how I always watch anime.
Mm-hmm.
But, with the exception of Inosuke's voice, he sounds like freaking Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho with a little bit more gruff.
Right.
Hey, man, gotta fight the train, man. It was kind of weird. And then, of course, the demon sounding like Michael Jackson in South Park. I gotta go to sleep.
That's ignorant.
That's ignorant. No, just put me to sleep. You're gonna have a happy dream.
Yeah. I was like, as soon as they started talking, I was like, oh, damn.
Well, like, Tanjiro was alright. Zenitsu was pretty on point. Rengoku was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's your typical fare with English voice
acting, yeah.
These days. It wasn't, like, top tier, but it wasn't bad. I thought that, like, with the boar's head on, Inosuke's voice made sense. But, like, if you saw him without the boar's head and he was talking like that, you'd be all like, wait, what?
Right, yeah, exactly.
I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, Demon Slayer, still fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Should still go see it.
Definitely go see it while it's still in theaters. But yeah, I also went and saw Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. Wrath of Man. The new Guy Ritchie movie. Jason Statham.
Oh. There's a lot to talk about in this movie.
But there is and there isn't.
Exactly. There is, but there isn't.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Wrath of Man is a revenge story about a dad looking for his son's killer.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
It's all about armored truck robbery and Jason Statham killing people.
Yeah. And
honestly, if you watch the trailer very thoroughly, you've seen most of the movie.
Yeah,
at least most of the relevant parts. Of the movie.
Pretty much.
Like they give away a lot in that.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's pretty much it. That's the synopsis. There you go.
Jason Statham's looking for his son's killers.
Nothing new.
Yeah, it's very much a Guy Ritchie movie.
Oh yeah,
but it's not as reminiscent of like the old Guy Ritchie movies like Snatch and Rock and Roller and stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely him adapting more to a different style, somewhat. He still does a lot of Guy Ritchie tropes with the like time jumping. Like different perspectives and everything.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. I thought it was really distracting during the movie, doing all these time jumps. I'm just all like, wait, where the hell are we? It's like 3 weeks back, 4 months forward, 3 months
years,
back, 5 years ahead.
It's like,
jump to 2049 and back to 1982.
It's like, wait, I missed the turn somewhere.
Yeah.
Wait, how did we get here?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if your movie's good enough to tell it chronologically, you should probably just do that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like these jumps around didn't really add a whole lot to the story. Especially because they gave away most of it in the trailer.
Like Morty said.
Yeah. I think the story should start where it starts. And not do all this, 3 weeks earlier nonsense. Like, well, now you just, lost tension for later on in the movie because you already know what's happening now and where it's going from there. Whereas if you had just started this right where, the movie actually starts with like an overhead shot of what's going on.
Yeah.
And then we later see that scene again, except from first Jason Statham's perspective, and then we see it yet again from Eric Eastwood's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're seeing a lot of the same things play out, just in different ways.
It seemed like they did that just to fill time.
Yeah. Like, this movie did not need to be an hour and 50 minutes.
It did not, no. It did not need to be an hour and 50 minutes. We're almost late for our second movie.
Well, not quite. We were almost late because we went and got beverages.
Yeah.
But...
even the second movie didn't start on time.
Mm-hmm.
But, anyway, before we get too deep into spoilers,
overall, I did like the movie.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I thought it was enjoyable.
I thought it was a decent movie.
The action pieces were really well done.
The music could have used some changing.
It could have used
anything else.
They introduced one like main kind of song for the score of the movie, and that is playing at the beginning of literally every scene.
Yep,
it's like an overhead shot, and then just these low notes. And it just, oh man, by the fourth or fifth time that I was hearing those notes, I'm just
this is going to be the whole movie, isn't it?
This is the whole movie, isn't it? They do change it up a little bit for the action scenes. There's a little bit more, dramatic impact for the music.
Mm-hmm.
But by then, you're like, not really paying attention to the music anymore because it's the same.
It's the same music.
General song.
Yes, exactly. I was like, man, they needed to change this up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
that's the thing. It's like it's still a great piece of music.
It is. Oh yeah,
like,
it is.
It sets tone and mood really well,
mm-hmm.
and we kind of get a good feeling for how the movie's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very dark.
Oh yeah,
very dark.
And the music just pretty much just solidifies that tone throughout the entire rest of the movie.
Like I know it was called Wrath of Man, and I know. It's a revenge story, and I knew going into it there was going to be a lot of killing and murdering and cool gun scenes.
I wasn't really disappointed with those.
No, not at all.
Those were all really, really well done.
I was actually, pretty happy with them.
Yeah.
I mean, even though the trailer basically shows you the entirety of the first
friggin' movie
gun scene.
Yeah.
The trailer really does kind of
ruins the movie.
It ruins a lot. Like, if you haven't seen the trailer for this movie, just go see the movie.
Yeah, you're basically watching. Yeah, you're basically watching the movie in the trailer. So
like the trailer's trying to make this movie look really exciting when the bulk of the movie is more dramatic setup and build up rather than pure action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So really, the trailer's trying to make it think it's like a straight up non-stop action movie. It's Fast and Furious and stuff like that.
It's more dramatic and it's paced a little too slowly at some parts.
Oh, definitely.
It's still a good
watch
movie.
This movie again than ever watch it without remorse. Oh yeah.
Still crapping on this movie.
Oh yeah. I would never stop crapping on this movie. It was terrible.
It's been a solid week.
Yep.
Still bagging on this movie.
Still, I hate that movie.
You know what? We should have seen this movie instead of that movie last week.
Well, last week we couldn't see this movie because it came out on Friday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it wasn't showing early.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why we did Without Remorse in the first place, because there wasn't anything new coming out.
The music in this movie would have done really well in that movie.
Yes.
And they probably would have set the tone a lot better in that one.
Wouldn't have saved it, though.
Oh, no. It's still terrible. But, what do you rate this movie, man? What do you rate this movie?
Has its issues, but it's still entertaining. I feel like most of the actors did a really, really good job. I didn't really care too much about most of the characters, though.
Well, that's why they had nicknames. They didn't have names.
I know, and the nicknames are crap too. Boy Sweat? What the hell is that shit?
They gave one character one name.
Yeah. Bullet.
No. Dana.
Oh, Dana, yeah. The lady guard.
Well, she was cute.
Oh, yeah.
She was that.
She reminded me of, what's her face from Terminator Dark Fate.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yes. I don't remember. I'll put her name on there. But
Yeah. She reminded me of her.
yes.
As far as I could tell, it could have been her, and I wouldn't have even noticed. But,
Different
anyways.
facial structure. I don't think it was her.
Anyways, I'd give this movie a very middle of the road 3.
I'd give it a 3.5 because I did like the action, I did like the music, even though it was very repetitive. The story was decent.
Story was decent. I would give this movie a much higher score if the score itself was more diverse, and they just told the story in chronological order. I think that would have been more interesting instead of trying to make it like, twists here and there.
Yeah.
Like we don't need a Shyamalan style twist every round the bend.
Exactly.
It's just kind of like.
I could have done without the time jumping.
Yeah, exactly. Like tell the story in order.
It would have
gotten like a 4 for me.
It probably would have been better if you just gone in order.
Yeah. Because, the violence is awesome.
Probably would have been shorter.
Action is awesome. Yeah, probably would have been shorter.
Probably would have been an hour and a half.
I wouldn't have had to spend all the time on, naming chapters and freaking doing all that crap, too.
Exactly.
That was like...
That was also irritating.
It seemed cool at first. The dark spirits. And then as it kept going, I'm just all like, okay, these titles are getting stupider and stupider. It's just like, all right.
Okay, I was like, I thought they were gonna just do the one, and then.
Oh, I knew when they showed the first one, I'm all like, oh, this is gonna be a thing. They're doing chapters.
They're doing chapters. I was like, dude, you're not. This is not a friggin' 4-hour movie, dude.
Yeah.
This does not need chapters.
Seriously, this is Lord of the Rings.
This is not Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, this isn't Zack Snyder's Justice League. An almost 4-hour movie.
Exactly, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Anyways, 3 for me, 3.5.
3.5 for me, yeah.
If I don't necessarily recommend seeing this in theaters.
I definitely recommend seeing this at home as soon as it's out.
Yeah, when this is out, definitely check it out on whatever streaming platform it ends up being on.
Make sure to turn up your volume on your TV as loud as you can, too, because, you get you. The action gets you. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. A lot of loud gunshots and explosions.
Mm-hmm. I think the gunfire in this was a lot more realistic than people actually think that actually happens in gunfire.
Right.
So, plus everything is, for the most part, practical.
Yeah. They do use a lot of practical effects for a lot of the stunts.
Apart from a couple overhead shots where there was one solid edit. Yeah, it was all practical and it was all really, really well done. It was nice. So yeah, I'll 3.5.
Alright, I'm sticking with my 3.
Yeah.
What later on down the line, or if it's in the $2 theater or something like that, if you got easy access to it, you got a couple hours to kill, definitely give this movie a try.
Oh yeah.
I could definitely see a lot of people liking this movie a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was a lot better than what was it? The Gentleman?
Oh yeah. Last Guy Ritchie movie? I don't even remember that movie. I'm pretty sure I saw it.
That movie was bad.
Yeah.
That movie was bad.
That movie sucked.
It did.
Wow. Hey.
Alright, but anyway.
We're never going to review that movie and just...
Yeah, no. Please no.
If your favorite movie's The Gentleman, well, you're fucked.
Well, congratulations. You're in the minority.
Anyways, let's talk about beer. Beer. We got Lou Gus Or
Weegus.
Weegus. Sounds like it should be one word. Weegus. It's a hoppy lager from Ballast Point.
From Ballast Point.
Out of San Diego. Ballast Point, pretty big player in the craft brewing areas these days.
Yep.
No longer independent, bought out by a bigger brewing corporation.
Mm-hmm.
But, they still put out good beers.
Mm-hmm.
Just, for something that's not privately owned, a little pricey.
Oh, yeah. This thing was $12.
Yeah, for a 6-pack of lagers.
For a 6-pack of lagers, it was $12.
That being said, just like this movie, I was cautiously optimistic about this beer, because it is a hoppy lager. And then I drank it, and I get no discerning flavor of hops.
Yeah, I was like, this is a lager.
Like, they're there, but this
is a lager.
You kind of gotta look for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it says hoppy lager, but I was like, oh, okay. This is a lager.
Yeah.
Super light, light, crisp, not really heavy on, like, flavor.
It's got those kind of, like... I don't know. There's it's just kind of like a really basic lager flavor to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I thought it was, I said, cautiously optimistic. Hoppy lager sounds like it could be really good.
Decent.
It's fine.
It's decent.
It's fine.
I mean, I'd rather drink this than a regular lager.
I honestly, it'd be up in the air for me. Like, it depends upon what the regular lager is. Because I like a lot of lagers a lot better than this.
Usually lagers are a little too light for me.
Yeah, but I find lagers at least drinkable.
Yeah, true.
Like, a hoppy lager that was fantastic that you can no longer find right now because they're not doing it anymore, but the Bitburger Sierra Nevada collaboration, they did a triple hopped lager, and that was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was hoppy, but it was light, crisp, and refreshing. It was very light bodied, so it felt like you could just drink them all day. And it was $9 for a 6-pack, which, coming from a collab with a major West Coast
brewery, yeah,
like, pretty reasonable. Yeah. Especially with 6-pack prices today. Like,
yeah, true.
You're lucky to find something under $10.
Very true.
That's actually like unique and good. This, not very unique, not very good.
I'll give it a 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing too.
Yeah,
like, it's still drinkable.
Yeah,
I'm gonna finish these beers.
Oh yeah,
but I'm not necessarily like stoked about it.
Yeah. I'll probably have a beer to wash down this beer after I finish this beer.
If I had known this beer was going to be this mediocre, I would have definitely saved my last beer. That I had in the fridge. Like, I was just like, I'm just going to drink this beer. Because I was eating chicken wings. You can't eat chicken wings without a beer.
No, without a beer. I mean, yeah.
At least when it's available to you, right? Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Pretty mediocre.
2 from both of us.
2 from both of us.
So,
if you see it, just find something else to drink.
Yeah. Find a lager.
You know what? I'd even pull it down to like a 1.5 because of how expensive it is for a lager.
Yeah, you know what?
I know 4.2%. It's like...
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, if I'm drinking a beer that low, I might as well at least enjoy not getting drunk.
Exactly. Yeah, because of the price, I'll knock it down half a point, so 1.5.
1.5. I'm pretty sure this is the lowest rated beer we've ever had on this channel so far.
Hey, Ballast Point, if you want to send us beer,
we'll
tell you.
We'll tell you what we think.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
So yeah, spoiler warning.
If you haven't seen the movie, tune out now, unless you don't care. Stay tuned in.
Yeah.
Or go see the movie, come back, watch this part.
Yeah. Cheers. Alright.
So, beginning of the movie, overhead shot of the armored car robbery where Jason Statham's kid gets killed. Right? And then it cuts into him getting hired for the armored car business. The same business that got hit by the people that, killed his kid. And then we time jump back.
Oh, we time jump, what was it? 5 years back?
Was it that long, or was it like...
Or was it 3 years?
I can't remember all the time jumps.
There was a lot of time jumps.
I know there was 5 months earlier, and 3 weeks back, and 5 months later. Yes. There's so many time jumps, it's so distracting, and it's hard to, keep track of the movie that way.
Yeah. Well,
if it just happened linear, basically, it would open with that scene, but from the perspective of Jason Statham. Mm-hmm. And then we'll know right off the bat that he's actually in the organized crime of hitting armored trucks.
I love how they did the red herring with Josh Hartnett.
Yeah. I mean...
I love how they did that.
Yeah.
As soon as they mentioned military, I was like, oh, alright, I figured it out.
Yeah.
As soon as they mentioned military, I was like... Because that was the one thing I didn't think of. I was like, maybe it's another, maybe it's a rival gang? Or, something? What is it? I don't know. I was like, what am I missing? I didn't think of the military. And as soon as they mentioned they were military, I was like, oh, there it is.
And it's an easy thing to miss, too, because when Bullet says that he's ex-military, it's a very quick throwaway line. Mm-hmm. So it's there to where if you pick it up, you pick it up. Mm-hmm. And if you remember it, later on in the movie, when they mentioned that the guys who did the job were all ex-military, then you can put 2 and 2 together and realize that Bullet was the inside guy doing all the things. They do a good job of setting up Josh Hartnett's character, Boy Sweat.
Boy Sweat, yeah.
Why? That is such a creepy-ass name to give somebody.
Well, I mean, he is kind of boyish still. I mean, the man's, in his, what? He's in his 40s now?
He's in his 40s now.
He's in his 40s now? He still looks like he's in his 20s? He still looks like he's in his 20s, He looks like he's still got, trying to grow, his facial hair. Yeah. It's very thin.
Yeah, but it's still, a fucking terrible nickname.
Well, yeah, they're all terrible nicknames.
They're all terrible nicknames.
What was the other? What was the black guy's nickname? I
don't even remember. I can't remember. They were all really bad that I never committed them to memory. The only reason I remember Boy Sweat was because it's so off-putting and gross.
He's on most of the freaking movie. Yeah. Besides Jason Statham.
And then I remember Bullet because he's he ends up being the inside guy, and obviously they say his name 100 times in it. Yeah. They call Jason Statham's character H.
Because...
They don't even give it a good reason until he starts getting his shit, and they're like, oh, he's H. Atom bomb.
Like the bomb.
Hydrogen bomb.
Like the bomb.
Yeah. Okay.
Or Jesus H.
Or Jesus H. It's
oh, God.
Oh, God. Pretty cringe.
Yeah.
Pretty cringe.
There were parts like that where I was like, ooh, missed the mark on that one.
But basically, out of all the characters, Jason Statham's character is about the only one that's actually interesting. Yes. The only one that you actually kind of give a shit about. Yeah. During the movie. Yeah.
Oh man, he knew what he was doing at that end part though, putting the phone in the bag and then,
oh yeah, totally.
And then just lying there like he's dying.
Playing I called him Eric Eastwood. His name's Scott Eastwood.
Scott Eastwood.
I don't know why I called him Eric Eastwood. I just couldn't think of his freaking name.
But yeah, in the movie,
you didn't correct
Jans.
Jans.
I figured you'd catch it.
Yeah.
You caught it eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me hold on to that for the last 15 minutes.
You got it. You had it. You're fine. Yeah,
Just correct me.
Jans. Okay. All right, fine.
If you actually know.
Fine.
Oh, man,
yeah,
his getting worse as it went.
It's bad.
Hasn't even been open for that long.
No, it's terrible. Yeah, his name was Jans.
Yeah.
In the movie.
And I'm sorry, but like, why does every heist crew criminal group have to have that one unhinged guy that fucks everything up?
Unhinged twitchy guy?
Like, seriously? Like, does every movie have to have that one guy that's like, oh, yeah, either this guy's going to betray all his comrades or he's going to fuck everything up by being a maniac for no reason.
Yep.
And
he's the reason they're going to get caught.
It was the first one. It was the first one. He double crosses everybody, more or less.
Well, he double crosses two people.
He double crosses two people. But
yeah, his leader and Bullet.
Yeah. But it was like, it wasn't even that impactful of a double cross because the leader was already dying. He got shot in the neck.
He was gonna die anyway.
He was bleeding out. Like, you could tell. Like,
he was already...
They did a great job of showing how pale he was.
Oh, man, that was great, too.
And how close to death he was.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Scott's got to go over there and stab him with his own knife.
Yep.
And then, same thing with Bullet. Like, they show Bullet pulling out his pistol, and then make it super obvious that he's holding something in his right hand because he's throwing the bag with one hand, and then he turns around and he's like, nope, and then shoots him in the head.
Too slow.
That was fine. Yeah. At least they didn't do, like, some drawn-out, crappy, like, 1v1 action scene between Jans and
No, they just...
H.
No, they just shot him in the liver, the lungs, the spleen, and the heart.
Yep. I thought that was... I thought that was fine, I guess. I don't know. I guess I didn't really have too much of an opinion about it. It was the name of the chapter.
It was the name of the chapter. And I was like... After the first one, and they said it, I was like, oh, God...
I'm like, okay, I get it.
Here we go now. They're going to name all the chapters in the chapter.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God.
And that's how you know the chapter is almost over, is because they say the chapter name.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like all the mafia, like all the gangster scenes.
Gangster scenes were pretty cool.
Yeah, they were really
that's
cool.
Where you get, like,
them.
the most brutality out of it.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Is that,
it was awesome, though.
Like, seeing how ruthless of a mob boss that he really is.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he's like, as long as he gets what he wants, he'll compensate you.
Yeah.
Like, when the dude, like, he's like, you didn't hear from me. But he still gave him information. He's like, all right, give him $200,000 in the car.
Yeah. Give him $200,000 in the car, set him off on the way.
And he sent those three girls with $2.5 million home after killing everybody that was there.
Yeah, yeah, the Dasher brothers.
Yeah, he killed those two guys without even looking at them.
Yeah, I mean, he's nothing if not proficient.
Yes. The way that he did the test to barely pass.
To barely pass. To pass
that was
exactly
so
70%.
beautiful. So beautiful.
I noticed that with the shooting right off the bat.
Oh yeah.
It was like, all right, fitness. Obviously, he's gonna,
yeah.
he's gonna score high in that because Jason freaking Statham. He's gonna do well. But yeah, when it got to the firearms test and I was watching it and I was seeing him hitting the outside of the circle, I'm all like, oh, he's just bullshitting right now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's doing just enough.
Like,
and you see the same thing with the driving and everything. It's like he knows he doesn't want to be the driver.
Yeah.
He wants to be
passenger
so that he can move a little bit more freely.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was well done. That was a cool.
Yeah, I like
cool
that. I like that. I like that a little bit because you know he's messing with him and he's just doing that just enough to pass.
Yeah. And then the whole scene with the Post Malone goes down.
Oh God, that was so funny.
Yeah, he does a great job in his little cameo.
He does.
One of the truck robbers.
It was great.
But yeah.
Damn it! When I saw that he went to Dana's house, I was hoping for some titties.
Right?
I was hoping for some titties because she was cute. Mm-hmm. Damn it, she was hot.
Definitely. I mean, I would definitely not mind
it was
that
still.
At all.
I mean, like it didn't need it.
Yeah, it didn't take away from the movie.
No, not at all. But like,
titties.
but I mean, like, I would have liked that.
Yeah.
I would have liked it. Titties would have been nice. Especially her titties. Her titties looked like they would have been nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She was cute. I'm not gonna lie.
No, totally.
Yeah. But yeah, like. Yeah, the first drop off, which is in the entire thing, is in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then the second one,
that almost entire action.
And then the second one where they get stopped in, was it like Chinatown or something like that? Mm-hmm. And then he gets out of the back of the truck, and they're all like, "So let me get this. Let me get this straight." They just turned around and left.
Yep. It was a good scene, and that's because one of his crew recognized him, too.
It was the old guy and the black guy.
Yeah, but it was mainly the old guy. Like, the old guy was the one that was just like, "Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry to get in your way. Let's get the fuck out of here.
We're gonna go now."
Yeah, we're gonna leave now.
It seemed like Bullet was trying to piece it together at the bar, but he wasn't quite there.
Yeah, totally.
But
and I did like
also
the
they were
scene
drinking a lot of bourbon in this.
They
movie.
were.
Did you see that he had the Japanese bourbon, the Japanese whiskey, when in his office, in Jason Statham's office?
I did not.
He had the little Japanese bottle in the back. I was like, I know that bottle. I had that bottle.
Oh, the Hibiki.
Yeah.
The Harmony.
Yeah.
It's good whiskey.
It is. It's a very good whiskey. And I was like...
Although a man of his status should be, like, getting some, like, Yamasaki 18 or something.
Well, true, but I mean, like, he
still trying to find though.
Yeah, I mean, he may just have that just in order to bridge the gap.
Right. This is my daily drinker. And then I can pull out my $3,500 bottle of some crazy thing.
I couldn't quite tell what Scott Eastwood was drinking at the end of the movie. And I was wondering if you could tell.
It actually looked like tequila.
Really?
The bottle
pounding
looked like
the crap out of that.
The bottle looked like Casamigos.
Oh, okay, I could see that.
Yeah. I did actually, like, when I saw him drinking, I'm like, what is that? It looks familiar.
I was like, this bottle looks familiar. Like, I can't tell what it is. I wonder if he knows.
Yeah. I would have to go back and see that scene again, which is not going to happen for a while.
Yeah.
But, I want to lean towards it was the Casamigos Reposado Tequila.
I can see that.
But at the same time,
he was pounding the crap out of that. So.
Oh yeah, he was basically shooting it. Like a nice 2-finger pour, and he's just like...
Exactly. It's like, oh crap. I was like, man.
My man.
Right?
And then he dies.
And then he gets shot in the liver, the lungs, spleen, and the heart.
Yep. Like, dude, at that angle, how do you know you hit his spleen?
Right?
So that's gotta be a different shot.
The spleen's like not a very big organ, too.
Yeah, standing up, the liver, no problem. Lungs,
the liver's
you got two choices, and they're pretty much right there.
Yeah, the liver's
heart,
the biggest
you know
thing.
exactly where the heart is.
Yep.
But how do you pinpoint the spleen on a guy that's, like, literally collapsed?
Yeah.
And, like, folded up a little bit, too. I thought that was a little, alright, you're kind of suspending disbelief in a weird direction here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I did enjoy this movie. I could have done without all the different time jumps and trying to be Pulp Fiction.
I understand why they did it. It's just, like, it was unnecessary. Just tell the story chronologically.
Add anything to revisit scenes that we've already watched.
Yeah.
You know? Like, watching the initial heist from 3 different perspectives didn't really add a whole lot to that whole scene. at all. Like, once you saw Jason Statham's perspective, that's pretty much all you need to see. Because it shows a close-up of, his eyes.
Well, you show this...
And you see that one of his eyes has got, like, the scar and everything. So you know exactly who it is.
The only time you could do it is when you show, like, as a passing clip of, like, when Scott Eastwood's driving by in the truck and he sees Jason Statham's character on the floor. That is the only time you cut to that clip.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like
when he sees him laying on the ground at the depot, he cuts back and... sees that same look in his eyes from when he was doing the job.
Mm-hmm.
When he shot
him. Unnecessary more than that.
Yeah, if anything.
Yeah. Alright, so... Yeah, I mean, yeah, without the time jumps, like, told in chronological order, it would have been...
Yeah. There could have been a couple scenes, moved around.
Yeah.
That, you could do, like, a somewhat time jump. But I feel like they're really unnecessary, especially when you, like, point out so obviously. Like, it felt like it was trying to be Pulp Fiction, but Pulp Fiction just cuts to different scenes, and you're learning throughout the movie that you're watching scenes in a different order, like, that everything's out of order. Mm-hmm. But, like, narratively, it makes sense overall, like when you watch the whole movie.
Yep.
And this, it didn't make any narrative sense to have all these time jumps.
Plus, the time jumps were just so close together.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, where?
It's like one scene, and then you're going back 3 weeks, and then one scene, you're going forward 5 months, and you're just... It's very discombobulating.
It's like, wait, what? No, wait, where?
Yeah. And it just really could have done without all of that. Tell the movie in chronological order. Get us more invested in the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know anything about any of the other guards, except that they're guards.
Yeah, they like to make bets. They like to play pool and drink beer at the pool hall. Mm-hmm. One of them's got, like, crazy eyes. One of them's kind of older and...
You got buff military dude, young scared kid, a Latino, a black, and a woman. And then crazy-eyed guy, and old depot manager.
Old depot manager.
Oh, and you got veteran armorer.
Yeah, Elsie, and then you got the
Sorry, I shouldn't have said a black.
A black.
There's a black man. That sounded bad.
That did sound pretty bad, but...
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, they're just, like, covering the gambit of...
Yeah, they're just
diversity in the cast, which is all well and good, but you didn't get any of the characters.
And you had the owner of the company.
Oh, yeah, the president.
The middle-aged white man.
Yeah.
With a mustache, which... He looked like his mustache was glued on.
Yeah. Dude, his eyebrows looked weird, too.
It did.
I'm like, what's up with the eyebrows, bro?
What about eyebrows?
Yeah.
I think that's about wraps it up.
Yeah. Yeah. See it in theaters if you want.
Mm-hmm. I
would save my money, honestly. But I would still recommend seeing this movie at some point. If you can spare a couple hours to watch it.
So yeah.
Here's to you.
Here's to me.
Friends for life, we shall always be.
If by chance we disagree.
Then screw you.
Here's to me. Cheers.
Cheers. Check out our next video on who knows what.